What is up? Jeff here with all my ICP Renegades today. And what we are going to talk about today is SEC, right? So the SEC versus Coinbase is absolutely ridiculous. There is no basis on this, okay? And we're going to go into why that is. They are absolutely not clear on what a security is. So we're going to go into some Harvard studies. We're going to look into some law. We're going to look into an article by Dfinity, and we are going to deduct whether ICP is a security or not. Okay, and what is a security by law? So let's just get right into this here. Let's first start with crypto assets. Why crypto assets are not securities, right? So the Securities and Exchange Commission's primary theory on whether crypto asset is a security appears to be based upon whether the blockchain project associated with the crypto asset at any point in time sufficiently decentralized. This is what makes it not a security, right? So if it is not decentralized, it can be considered a security. And look at Ethereum, it's 70% centralized, and they already ruled that it was not a security. So this is the law right here. If so, the crypto asset is not a security. This theory was first proposed by the SEC staff in 2018 to address ICOs, which is initial coin offerings, which were then all the rage, and was followed by more detailed staff guidance in 2019. But the theory has not aged well. It is impractical, if not impossible, to apply to today's real-life blockchain projects. And I don't agree with that. You cannot just create a law and say something proposed by the SEC and then they can change their mind later. That is absolutely not how the law works. Once you put something into effect, and I know it's not a law yet, but they're trying to, whatever is happening at the time, whatever's best for them in the moment, that's what they do instead of actually creating laws and guidance, right? So it is not supported by existing judicial precedent, including the now crypto famous Howey Supreme Court case. And we might look into that as well. But I really think that if a crypto is fully decentralized, that was what the SEC said. So, I mean, they can't just change their mind like that. And if they do, we can actually come after them for that, because you can't propose something and then change your mind because a lot of blockchains become decentralized and then they want to just money grab them. So, and it has resulted in market distortions that harm both market participants and long-term innovation in the crypto industry. That is absolutely false. This is by Harvard, but I don't agree with this at all. It actually has made crypto a lot better because anything that is centralized can be manipulated. Why we need fully decentralized crypto assets and crypto blockchains is so that we don't have these wolves and these snakes coming in and stealing your money. So if it's decentralized, it's all on a smart contract. You can't be hacked. You can't, have a third party steal your money. This is absolutely just, I would debate this with this person all day long. An intriguing new paper, the ineluctable modality of securities law, why fungible crypto assets are not securities, points us to the right path. The paper analyzes the relevant case law and concludes there is scant legal basis to treat fungible tokens as securities. There's no reason for it, okay? They are saying that if it's not fully decentralized, or if it is, it doesn't really matter. But then they go on to talk about this, right? So fungible tokens are basically crypto, anything that can be traded on a market directly for money, instead of like you put it up there and then somebody has to buy it like a peer-to-peer thing. The paper separates capital raising transactions by blockchain project sponsors or other insiders in which a crypto asset may be sold, which are typically securities transactions, from the treatment of the crypto asset, which is not a security. This analytical framework addresses the now apparent challenges created by the SEC staff approach and appropriately focuses on the SEC's regulatory jurisdiction on capital raising transactions. So let's just talk about that for 1 second. Okay, so if a crypto starts out centralized, right, which most have to because it takes time to implement decentralization and to actually make it fully sufficient and work. That's why Cardano wasn't really able to do it right away. That's why Dfinity has such a big research and development team and a lot of developers so that they can make sure that everything works. And they created a new smart contract called canister smart contracts. So it's even safer than Ethereum. It can grab onto Web 2, like I've been saying before. So a crypto asset, right? They are trying to class it in many different places. They're overreaching by saying that it is a commodity or a currency or a security, right? So the thing is, if it is a security, it could be registered on the National Securities and Exchange Commission, right? They could actually list it as a stock, right? But it's not a stock, right? It's not an actual company that builds products and sells them to the public, right? It's a utility token where you can vote on the governance, which is fully decentralized. That's how you can do that. So it just absolutely doesn't make sense what they're doing. And we're going to look at Definity's thoughts on that right now. So this is what Dfinity was talking about on the June 6th complaint against Coinbase, right? So, like many in the blockchain and Web3 ecosystem, we have been watching recent regulatory developments in the United States with some alarm. The SEC, in particular, has been taking wide ranging actions across the industry. We are aware of yesterday's action against Coinbase, a leading American token exchange that many see as a beacon of best practices and good faith behavior. In their complaint against Coinbase, available here, the SEC alleges that several well-known tokens available through Coinbase are securities, including ICP. We are surprised and dismayed by the inclusion of ICP, which regards to the ICP token. We do not agree that it is a security. So I'm the same way. I don't agree. I don't. I was shocked to see it. We are also surprised about the inclusion of some other major tokens. ICP is the utility token of the Internet Computer, which is created by a fully decentralized protocol and network. The Dfinity Foundation is a primary contributor of open source technology used by the Internet Computer Network and also provides support to the ecosystem participants in pursuit of a not for profit purpose that is funded by an endowment. So the Dfinity Foundation is regulated in Switzerland, where we are a major employer, and our worldwide R&D team is widely regarded as one of the best in the technology industry. In Switzerland, the ICP token is characterized as a type of utility token by authorities, which role, this is pretty interesting right here, because if another country, I know it's not the same as the US, but if another country understands what a utility token is, they are going to move forward and advance farther in crypto than we are. And the SEC doing this is just pushing it back to Switzerland and saying, yeah, we don't want it. Yeah, we're just going to say it's a security without any clear guidance to what it is. We said that if it's fully decentralized before, then it isn't a security. But now that we have fully decentralized blockchains, we're going to say that it's a security. And that's absolutely BS. That is playing with the law however you see fit. And that's not the way to do it. There needs to be a law that's created to regulate and find out exactly what a crypto is, and not just a suggestion by the SEC they can change anytime. That's absolutely ridiculous. The ICP token is characterized as a type of utility token by authorities, which role it was carefully designed to fulfill. We have always paid careful attention to securities laws and do not believe that existing laws classify ICP as a security in the United States either. So this is the big argument right here, right? That they cannot just take anything and say it's a security because Gary Gensler didn't like ICP and probably helped try to tank it on FTX. Now FTX is coming back or something, and this is the world we live in, where money is the root of all of the evil that, or even our government is involved because they just want to line their pockets instead of actually designing something, working with the internet computer and trying to find a solution to this. And characterize exactly what a security is. So the SEC's complaint against Coinbase includes several incorrect statements about ICP, including that Dfinity promotes that it burns ICP tokens as a mechanism to support the price of ICP. Now let's talk about that for a second. That's absolutely BS. You do not burn any ICP. ICP does not get burnt, okay? you create cycles. Now, if anything is a security, cycles are, because they are what run all of the decentralized applications, right? It is basically like uh, a company that it pays for you to use the service. So instead, on a normal blockchain, you interact with Ethereum, you have to pay a fee for each dApp that you use, which is a decentralized application, like an app on your phone, right? Except it's decentralized. And so you have to pay to interact with that dApp. And what ICP does is it employs a reverse gas fee model, which means that the dApp pays for it with cycles to run that and run it and over, right? But ICP doesn't do that. You cannot burn ICP unless you turn it into cycles. They were very, very smart in how they created this so that it wasn't a security, tried to go by the law, then they changed the law, and that you can't do that. I mean, they didn't change the law, so their opinion, let's just say that. So they never made law, so that they could just say, oh, this, oh, no, that, oh, no, this. And that's why we need law. Okay, law is the only thing that is going to change this. And if it's full, I agree. If it's fully decentralized and you cannot earn rewards from burning the tokens, right? That also, with their staking protocol and the utility token that's fully decentralized and not on exchanges by ICP. Now, if it's on exchanges for staking, that is the protocol or the centralized authority or whatever, but it's not ICP. So this is why they're coming after Coinbase. You actually can't even stake ICP on Coinbase because it is not a stakeable crypto outside of the NNS, which is the network nervous system. And you vote on proposals and you get rewarded for it. It's like a democracy voucher, right? That we get in the mail and we pick our favorite politician. It's the same thing with ICP. So they're trying to say that the stuff that we do in our country here, and what ICP is doing are absolutely different. And it's kind of the same thing, right? Democracy on the blockchain. So I'm really upset about this because they aren't telling us the truth. They are just trying to create law that they think is best for us, but it's not. If they want to help Americans, it's not a security. Americans will benefit more when ICP is not a security. It's going to revolutionize the industry of technology in the entire world, and either America can get behind it or they can get left behind. And that's the way it's going to happen. So let's go more into this. I want to read more of this article, and then I will get in the chat and see what you guys are doing. So, all right. So our analysis is that our industry is now under attack in the United States, owing to widespread misunderstandings among politicians and regulators, which situation has largely arisen owing to unfortunate events created by a small subset of our community and a lack of regulatory clarity for entirely new technology and asset classes. We look forward to joining a vigorous industry-wide defense. The Dfinity Foundation will continue to work with the best lawyers and advisors, both for the benefit of the internet computer ecosystem and the wider blockchain and Web3 ecosystem. We plan to become more vocal in our advocacy for our global critical industry. See you there. So this is a boss article. Who wrote this? This was just by Dfinity. So I was thinking there might be an actual writer, but this is just someone at Dfinity that wrote this. But this is absolutely true. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. Now let's go look again what securities law applies to crypto. Those offering crypto asset investments or services may not be complying with applicable law, including federal securities law. Under the federal securities law, a company may not offer or sell securities unless the offering is registered with the SEC or an exemption registration is available. So what ICP or Dfinity would need to do is get an exemption. And how can they get an exemption, right? Well, they're sufficiently decentralized. They're not offering staking protocols. They're doing everything that the law requires, and the law is overreaching because there isn't law. And when there isn't law, they overreach. And trying to create new law needs to be something that Americans should vote on. We should vote on whether something like this is a security or not, instead of just having these giant jerks or giant giant just greedy people trying to get money for the United States when all that is doing is the same as our debt, right? All it is it's giving us money right now, but it is absolutely pushing crypto out of the United States. It is absolutely pushing all that money that crypto is going to bring out of the United States. Nobody wants to trade on Coinbase if you can't, if things are going to become securities, they delist them, and then you make us lose a lot of money. So you say that you're trying to protect us, right? If you were trying to protect us, you would not mess with our money, right? There is millions and millions of Americans that are invested in crypto. And when you try to regulate it with force instead of law, you're going to steal our money. You're going to knock the price down. You're going to lose us money. And isn't that what you're trying to avoid? Yeah, right. So let's get into some chat here. Let me know what you guys think about this and what's going on with the SEC right now. So, okay. Well, let's just continue then. Okay, so here is more law. Okay, we are going to discuss exactly what is going on with some certain laws. In the United States, cryptocurrencies have been the focus of much attention by both federal and state governments. At the federal level, most of the focus has been at the administrative and agency level, including the Securities and Exchange Commission, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, the Federal Trade Commission, and the Department of Treasury through the Internal Revenue Services, the IRS, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, and the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, FinCEN. While there has been significant engagement by these agencies, little formal rulemaking has occurred. Many federal agencies and policymakers have praised the technology as being an important part of the U.S.'s future infrastructure and have acknowledged the need for the U.S. to maintain a leading role in the development of the technology. Coinciding with the proliferation of cryptocurrencies in mainstream society, U.S. Congress has introduced several bills aimed at providing more clarity to the emerging sector. The bipartisan introduced Responsible Financial Innovation Act is designed to provide regulatory clarity for agencies charged with supervising digital asset markets, providing a strong, tailored regulatory framework. Okay. For agencies charged with supervising digital asset markets, provide a strong, tailored regulatory framework for stablecoins, integrate digital assets into existing tax and banking law, and spur innovation in the field of digital assets. So this is what we need. This is not the SEC, right? The SEC absolutely is probably the beast in this whole thing, and there might be a couple more of these guys in there too, but. So Democratic Senator Patrick Toomey introduced a bill that would create a regulatory framework for stablecoins and their issues. So what they need to do first is regulate stablecoins, and then they can regulate crypto, but they don't need to be enforcing something that is not actually true. Currently known as the Toomey Stablecoin Bill. This bill includes authorizing 3 options for the issuance of payment stablecoins, national limited payment stablecoin issuers, insured depository institutions, and money transmitting businesses, subjecting all payment stablecoin issuers to standardized requirements, distinguishing stablecoins from securities by indicating that, at a minimum, stablecoins that do not offer interest are not securities. Look at that. So that's all I'm going to read about this right now. That is what they were talking about with it actually not being able to be stakeable on like the ICP, and that's why they have cycles. So if you are decentralized, if you don't have a staking protocol, if you're nonprofit, that's another good thing. Even though Ripple is a nonprofit, it's a different thing, right? So, according to all of the smart people that I've been reading on Harvard and the law and other things like this, it's kind of up in the air, but it seems like about 75%. It is pretty clear what is not a security, and 25% is the doubt they want to instill in us, and then make us not invest in crypto so that they can get in, push the price up, and then they take our money, because the rich feed off of the backs of the poor, and that's how it's always been as long as I've been alive. So what we need to do is take a stand, vote for these people that are introducing good law. I would have to look more into that Toomey stablecoin thing. But ICP is absolutely not a security. It is not considered a security by the definition of the law. And the law over trumps the SEC, right? Because the law clearly states what a security is, because we have a Securities and Exchange Commission. We have securities that are registered on the open market. So it's clear what a security and what it's not. Now they're trying to change that law for crypto and say, well, crypto is not a security, so we can come after it, but then it is a security. So why don't they have to follow the same rules? Now, if there was a stocking company that was staking stuff and has like a business model, then it is a security. So what up, Meta L? Good to see you, man. So I think that's about all we're gonna do for today. I have a really busy day today, but I just wanted to let you guys know that the internet computer, I believe, is going to be labeled as not a security. I believe we are going to win this fight. Now, Coinbase with the other cryptos, that depends on each one. You would actually have to look into each one of those cryptos to decide whether it is a security or not, right? You can stake Ethereum on Ethereum version 2, right? Because it's proof of stake. So they're not coming after Ethereum for some reason, even though Ethereum is more of a security by law and by definition, at least, and by past pretenses that they should not be able to label ICP as a security before they actually label Ethereum as a security. So these are the kind of things that you have to think about when doing this. ICP is starting to recover a little bit right now, but we will talk about the price on Monday. I am no longer doing videos on Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is on Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I wish you all a wonderful 4th of July. I think that's on Tuesday, right? So that's my day off. So I'll see you one more time before that. And if you're not in the United States, have just a great summer or winter, wherever you're at in the world. So, all right, guys, that being said, goodbye. And ICP is not a security. Bang!